Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. We have a quick show for you today because, well, it's been one of those days. First, Barry Morphew gets one more continuance. Bryan Kohberger gets a hearing to talk about money. The search for Melodee Buizzard. Yep, that continues. Father of the Year, Jake Haro, is sentenced. Jury selection commences in the murder trial of a police officer. A little of this day in legal history, the quote of the day that, well, kind of sums up life, and something that our dumb criminal of the day doesn't quite follow. Let's talk about it.
All right, lawyer.
Good day, everyone. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. Thanks for joining us. You know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Like if you do. Leave me a comment below and hit that little bell for notifications. And yes, you can check us out on any of your favorite podcasting apps. Now, if you'd like to, and you want to check somebody out, go to crimetalksearch.com. Check out that background subscription service. You're going to get a thorough background search done while you wait. Everything is emailed to you, and you can get updates. Now, this is only for people in the United States, but I'm telling you, it is a professional background search of thousands of databases across the country, and they're searched literally while you wait, and you're going to find out everything you want to know about somebody that's coming into your life. If you're meeting somebody to go on a date, guess what? Dating malpractice, not to check somebody out at crimetalksearch.com. Absolutely dating malpractice. Go there, check it out. You're going to be happy that you did. Heck, it could even save your life. And if you'd like to get Crime Talk merch, hit the link below as well. All right, let's go ahead and open the record for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. And in Chaffee County, Colorado, attorneys representing Barry Morphew have sought an extension to adequately prepare for his upcoming homicide trial. Now, the decision, which was laid out November 3rd, rescheduled his arraignment for January 12th, during which he is anticipated to enter a not guilty plea. Remember, here in the state of Colorado, and since Barry Morphew was indicted, he's not entitled to a preliminary hearing. At best, he gets a probable cause review, where the judge would review the grand jury transcripts to see if, in fact, there's probable cause, and the judge will more than likely say, yes, there is. So the defense is saying, hey, we need more time. You know, it's only been like, 3-4 months since our client was arrested. And there's a lot of stuff. The government's had multiple years to do this. And so did Barry Morphew first time around. But this is different. But we need more time, Judge. Judge says, fine, one more continuance until January 12th, 2026. And then we're going to enter a plea. And that is when it gets good, ladies and gentlemen, because then the state has 6 months from that date to get Mr. Morphew to trial. If they fail to do so, obviously the case would be dismissed on speedy trial grounds. You know how many cases I've seen dismissed on speedy trial grounds that I can think of in the state of Colorado in my 30 years of practice? I think one. Okay, it doesn't happen very often. They will oblige Mr. Morphew if he wants to go to trial. Also, if there's going to be some sort of plea negotiations, that will take place as well. And but I anticipate a trial. So let's get going. As you may have recalled, Mr. Morphew faces charges related to the death of his wife, Suzanne Morphew, who disappeared back on Mother's Day in 2020. Her body was ultimately discovered in the southwestern portion of Colorado back in 2023. And forensic examination identified the presence of some potent sedatives and an opioid analgesic in her system, leading authorities to classify her death as a homicide. A grand jury issued an indictment, or should be actually returned an indictment against Barry Morphew back in June of 2025. Alleging that one of the substances involved was a tranquilizer typically used to sedate wildlife, to which he reportedly had some unique access within the state. Very few people in the state had access to this particular tranquilizer known as BAM. So we'll see if it's enough. Obviously, he's entitled to the presumption of innocence. Is it enough to meet the heavy burden that the prosecution has of proof beyond a reasonable doubt? Well, time will tell. Next, Bryan Kohberger. It's always about the money, ladies and gentlemen. How many times have we told you that? And Bryan Kohberger gets a hearing to talk about money. Bryan Kohberger, the now infamous slayer of 4 University of Idaho students, is set to grace the courtroom once more tomorrow. Not for the dramatic plot twist, but for a rather pedestrian squabble over extra restitution fees. Back in July, Kohberger admitted his guilt in the chilling 2022 off-campus stabbing, earning himself a quartet of 4 back-to-back life sentences with a cherry on top, an additional decade for burglary. Fast forward to October, and his legal eagles swoop in with an objection to the prosecution's bid of $27,329.64, more in reimbursement funds meant to cover travel and lodging for the Gonzalez and Mogan families during the Boise hearings. The defense's cheeky counter: those families have already pocketed hefty sums from various crowdfunding drives tailor-made to offset precisely these costs. Oh, and let's not forget, with Kohberger locked away for eternity, expecting him to cough up cash is about as realistic as a unicorn paying taxes. In response, the Latah County prosecutors fired back with a motion for a dedicated hearing, now penciled in for November 5th, because nothing says closure like another round of courtroom haggling. We'll see what the good judge is going to do. He's probably going to say, I realize and understand that this money will never be paid, but I'm going to order it be paid. And yes, the victim's family should not get a windfall, but that's just the way it is. Remember, restitution is for actual out-of-pocket expenses. Usually that's something the prosecutors, victims' rights people pick up when there's travel and lodging expenses. And then the victims' rights fund then asks for restitution, which probably would be a much cleaner way of doing it. But they decided to go about it this way. And I guess all the GoFundMe money has been returned. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it'll be ordered. Now, like I said, I just personally had a situation where somebody wanted restitution for an alarm system in their house. Case law out there that says that's not restitution. Everybody would get an alarm system every time they were the victim of crime, and our courts here have said can't do it. And the district attorney, no, can't let the defense win, so they withdrew their motion. So then the judge's order said, I'm allowing the prosecution to withdraw their motion for restitution. Because by God, we can't have the defense win, now can we? Next, let's get to a couple of stories about some Parents of the Year contenders. Melodee Buizzard. Isn't it just heartwarming when a mother goes the extra mile to play hide and seek with the police? Now, in the case of the missing 9-year-old Melodee Buizzard from California, her mom, Ashley Buizzard, apparently decided that a little license plate swap was the perfect way to keep things exciting during a mysterious cross-country jaunt. Oh yeah, those license plate readers. Oh, she must have been watching CrimeTalk, I guess. They can tell everywhere you went by literally typing a plate into a computer, ladies and gentlemen, monitored all across the United States. Anyway, according to the ever-patient Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, Ashley rented a shiny white 2020 Ford Chevy Malibu in Lompoc, California back on October 7th of this year and embarked on what sounds like a delightful road trip, possibly swinging through Kansas and Nebraska for some scenic vibes. But wait, there's more. Security cameras caught both Ashley and little Melodee decked out in wigs at the rental spot that day. Because nothing says innocent family outing like disguising your kids' looks. Ashley apparently is sporting a wig enthusiast herself, so points for consistency, I guess. Now, the car's original California plate, 9 Mike November Golf 101, got a sneaky upgrade to a New York tag, Hotel Charlie Golf 9677, around October 8th, all in the name of avoiding detection, as the sheriff folks so diplomatically put it. Who knows when she slapped it on, or if she had a whole collection of plates, or, for variety's sake, I guess. Naturally, the New York plate wasn't hers, or the car's borrowed from the ether, perhaps. Anyway, by October 9th, footage hopefully spotted Melodee in the vehicle somewhere along the Colorado-Utah border region, because, like I said, add a little dash of interstate intrigue for sure. The sheriff's office even released a handy map of Ashley's supposed wanderings before she waltzed back home. without a child. Fast forward to October 10th, and Ashley returns the car with its original California plate, reinstated like nothing ever happened. She pulls up to her Vandenberg Village pad on Mars Avenue without Melodee. Of course, as previously noted in the crime reports, the kid was nowhere to be seen upon mom's solo return. Now, in a shocking twist that no one could have foreseen, Ashley has been playing hard to get with investigators, offering zero cooperation in the hunt for her own daughter. The sheriff's team, teamed up with the FBI, has already raided her home with search warrants, but Melodee's still not there, unaccounted for. Brilliant parenting strategy, right? For those keeping score, Melodee's about 4 feet 6 inches tall, about 60 pounds, with brown hair and eyes. And if you have any leads on this vanishing act from October 9th through 10th or along the route, due to the decent thing that please have the decency to ring up the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office at 805-681-4150. You can even submit it online as well if you've got a tip. Come on, this is ridiculous. I mean, you leave with your kid, you don't come back with your kid, but you have no idea, you're not helping the police find your kid. Yeah, doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist, ladies and gentlemen. She did something to the kid. I get it. They need to get the body to make sure the kid is in fact deceased. But where are you going to go look between here and Kansas, for goodness sakes? Well, I guess along the route that she traveled. But gee, that narrows it down, doesn't it? Next, another Father of the Year participant, Jake Haro. What a shining beacon of parental excellence we have in Jake Haro, a true frontrunner for the esteemed Father of the Year accolades here at CrimeTalk. Now, back on November 3rd of 2025, this exemplary parent was graciously awarded a sentence of 25 years to life for his innovative approach to child care, which tragically culminated in the torture and ultimate demise of his 7-month-old son, Emmanuel, whose remains, in a stroke of masterful planning, still remain undiscovered to this day. Now, in a heartfelt display of remorse, Haro appeared in the Riverside County Superior Court, where he had previously entered a plea of second-degree murder. And as the judge delivered his sentence, he could be seen shaking his head and dabbing his eyes, no doubt reflecting on his unparalleled dedication to family life. To complement this primary honor, he also received an additional 180 days plus 6 years and 8 months for supplementary achievements in assaulting a child and submitting a fabricated report. Truly a well-rounded parental resume. Emmanuel's disappearance was first reported on August 14th in Cabazon, California by Haro's 41-year-old spouse, who spun a tale of being accosted by assailants who snatched the infant outside a retail establishment in San Bernardino. Police, however, astutely discerned inconsistencies in the narrative and promptly apprehended the couple at their residence on August 22. Now, while Haro's wife has entered a not guilty plea to her own murder rap, Jake himself reportedly confided to an undercover informant in custody that he had ended the child's life and disposed of the body in a refuse container. He later adjusted his account to police, claiming an accidental suffocation, followed by a burial. Some creativity and storytelling further cements his status as parental innovator. Prosecutors highlighted the couple's operation with remarkable precision and expertise, exploiting their trusted roles as guardians to target an exceptionally fenceless individual, their own infant son. Adding to his credentials, Haro boasted a prior conviction for child abuse, where he inflicted severe injuries on his 10-week-old daughter, resulting in a permanent disability. Yeah, it's called brain damage. For that feat, he was mercifully granted probation, which he was dutifully observing at the time of Emmanuel's fate, proving that second chances are best utilized for escalating one's accomplishments. Now, in a poignant victim impact statement, the maternal grandmother lamented the profound impact on her family, noting how Haro had irrevocably altered lives through years of alleged mistreatment. She expressed particular disappointment in the judicial leniency that afforded him the probationary opportunity, observing that neither her daughter nor the grandchild received similar reprieves. Indeed, with such a transformative legacy, Haro's nomination for Father of the Year seems not just deserved, but inevitable. That's right. Well, jury selection begins on a case involving a police officer. So, proceedings for jury selection have initiated in the criminal trial of Blendon Township police officer Connor Grubb, who faces charges related to the 2023 fatal shooting of Takia Young. The incident occurred on August of 2023 when Young, aged 21 and pregnant with her second child, was fatally shot during an encounter in a Kroger supermarket parking lot shortly after allegations of theft of some liquor. Officer Grubb has remained on administrative leave following the event and is indicted on counts of first-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and felonious assault in connection with the deaths of Young and her unborn child. Now, during the initial session, legal representatives from both the prosecution and defense examined approximately 40 potential jurors from a group of 90 prospective jurors. The selection resumed on Tuesday and trying to get to the 12 jurors. Now, last week, candidates completed detailed questionnaires consisting of nearly 100 questions addressing subjects such as attitudes towards law enforcement, apprehensions regarding societal responses to the verdict, and perspectives on the termination of fetal life. Well, like most cases these days, body-worn camera recordings depict Officer Grubb's discharging his firearm as Young attempted to depart in her vehicle. Opening arguments may commence as early as tomorrow, with the trial anticipated to extend for as long as 3 weeks. Why? Don't get me wrong, we love a good trial. We really do. But 3 weeks? Are you kidding me? Officer comes up. The question is, did the officer have a reason to believe that he was going to shoot his firearm? My God, this should be like Name That Tune. We can try that case with one witness or maybe 5 witnesses instead of 5 notes, right? Ding, 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 ding. 5 witnesses. Anyway, body cams have made everything better and worse. Everything takes longer because of body cams. Hopefully we're getting a accurate depiction of what took place. Yes, we are. Next on the docket, this day in legal history. On November 4th, 1646, going way back, the Massachusetts General Court approved a law requiring all members of the colony to recognize the Bible as the word of God under penalty of death. How's that for some freedom of religion, huh? Next on the docket, quote of the day. The game of life isn't about brilliance. It's about avoiding stupidity. Charlie Munger. That's right. Famous investor from Berkshire Hathaway. He is not wrong. All right. Life is about avoiding stupidity, which is a great segue into our dumb criminal of the day. Let me bring you a shining beacon of brilliance we have in Florida. Let's crown Wesley Winters as our dumb criminal of the day, shall we? Now, this 53-year-old genius apparently decided that the perfect Sunday morning activity involved parking his white van right in front of a home he was court-ordered to stay 500 feet away from, all while dozing off amid a collection of contraband that could make even the most seasoned lawbreaker shake their head in disbelief. Let's set the stage, ladies and gentlemen. A vigilant deputy from the Flagler County Sheriff's Office is cruising along the North Ocean Shore Boulevard when he spots this suspicious vehicle. Recognizing it and its slumbering occupant from the earlier civil assist matter where Winters has been slapped with a no contact injunction, the officer approaches. Lo and behold, upon rousing the mastermind from his nap, the deputy notices some peculiar sand-dusted spheres scattered about, which turn out to be, wait for it, protected sea turtle eggs. And if you know anything about Florida or anything along the beach there up the East Coast, right, you don't mess with sea turtle eggs, because nothing is going to say I'm totally innocent like hoarding endangered wildlife in your car. Of course, the plot thickens when police from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission get involved. But once again, wait, there's even more. A quick glance reveals a marijuana pipe conveniently discarded near the driver's door. Winters, ever the picture of denial, insists he knows nothing about it. graciously consenting to a search as if he had a choice in the matter, although he did. He helpfully reveals a THC vape pen tucked in his pocket. And the van? A veritable treasure trove of illicit delights. A little methamphetamine, a little fentanyl, a little marijuana, plus the handmade pipes to round out the ensemble. What is Winter's stellar explanation for the eggs? He claims they washed up from damaged nests and were probably not viable anyway, as if his amateur assessment overrides, federal protections. Bravo! Now, this paragon of poor judgment faces a laundry list of charges, including possession of fentanyl, the prescription drugs, marijuana, and some related gear. Breaching that no contact order and courtesy of the wildlife probe, both misdemeanor and felony counts for tampering with marine turtle eggs. Now, Sheriff Rick Staley aptly summed it up by dubbing him this week's top fool. But honestly, with this level of self-sabotage, Winter earns his daily title hands down. And if only common sense were as easy to collect as forbidden eggs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And remember, that's right, the Constitution matters.